I agree with you.
Yeah, this chat is just me and Chris talking about Alien Romulus now, but which I finally saw. So it's we get a whole podcast about that. Anyway, hello and welcome to Chat from the Golden Vault, our weekly live stream post-session discussion as Chris chokes on his whiskey about what just happened during D&D. This is the chat for session number 16, so if you've not watched that session yet, please go do that because there will be spoilers. I am your DM, Eric, and we have joining me, flipped all that up. Joining me with this session, we have.
In fact, I went to go and
you've already got your salute on there.
I had to hold it.
Hold. Barrels player Chris.
Hello.
And Sharice player Raymond.
Hello.
I feel like I did okay given that we were gone for so long, and then all of a sudden I'm flubbing now that my caffeine fuels are running low.
That's right. You've done the work you need to do. Now you're on the downslope.
You know, I'm very happy that we ended the last session at a good solid stopping point. And then we were able to start because again we had a big holiday break we just came out of, and then we were able to start this session with like the basically the first session of our next heist mission.
Yeah.
So that was a helpful way of not having anybody remember about what was going on or anything. We could all kind of start fairly fresh and jump in with the introduction of everything happening with this one, which this one is called Talkworth's Clockworks.
Okay.
And it takes place
literal.
in the Underdark. Yeah. And this is the level 5 mission from Keys in the Golden Vault, so we are caught up.
Okay.
Level scaling wise.
It's supposed to be. Okay.
Yep. And yeah, it's in the Underdark. I did the way it works is I think you actually meet with the mayor initially, but I used this other character who is actually an Underdark encounter. You just meet her and she takes you to the mayor. So instead I was like, let's just have her be the one. That's also something I've kind of changed in mind, where instead of you guys getting the key, it's the NPC quest giver who they get the key and they come to you. And
that's interesting.
And that's something I've been changing for just to kind of cut out the middleman.
How do we get the keys?
It's also a mystery, I guess, in that one.
Oh, okay.
But this one just makes more. So anyway, I use that character.
I agree. I think that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Which initially,
otherwise you're just starting every session with, and you randomly have a key. You find a key in your possession.
I forget exactly. Yeah, I think it just gets delivered to you mysteriously, just like how all these other clients get their keys delivered. It's like always just a courier that brings it to you, and they never know it comes from somebody. So it's just this mysterious thing.
Okay. Yours is better.
Thank you. I do force myself to write my little song poems though every time now.
Oh, right.
I've written myself in a corner.
Wait,
of that
the songs are yours?
Yes.
Oh, I thought. Okay, great. That's cool. Good job. I for sure thought those were from the book.
I did it for the first one, and then everybody was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" So now I got to do it for all of them.
And now we're expecting it.
I know.
You saw us talk about it immediately.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we gotta go get the song.
You gotta hit up the song. Yep. Usually it's like what's the classic, like, this is the message should you choose to accept it. It's like there's a paragraph or something. So
yeah.
But I was like, it's a music box. It should play a song.
Yep.
I don't know if you could say, but
yep.
Am I onto something about trying to figure out where these keys are coming from? I'm kind of curious where these mysterious keys are coming from.
It is a mystery. I am not at liberty to explain any of that right now. Right? I like that your character is curious about that, and I think that's valid. But yeah, let's just say that's kind of.
Like this is the first. I feel like that's the first time I question it. You know, the other one it seemed like there was a purpose to it, and but now it's really seeming like, hey, these people need some help. Somehow the keys end up in their hands. So there's some
about this one.
Some master puppeteer.
Right. Yeah. Especially because this is just not somebody like in a town, like in the city who got it delivered.
Maybe that's it. Because the other two were like people in the city, so someone else could have heard what their problem was and offered to help. But this one's like a lady's traveling through the wilderness. Like how the hell would anyone have known that she needs help?
Right. Yeah. So I think that's very appropriate that you would so I will say, yes, that's very appropriate that you would question that. I think that's...
I knew you couldn't say anything, but I wanted to bring it up.
Yes. So that's the thing. Is that's kind of like an overall thing that I'm like teasing throughout. There's definitely a supernatural thing going on here. But that's all I'll be at liberty to say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so this was a very unique exotic one and I kind of mentioned before in the like session 0 and stuff that these are not all going to be in like safe like non-hostile places or even around the city. Some of them may be in more dangerous areas, which this one certainly sounds quite dangerous, even though it is technically a town that you're going into.
Right. I legit didn't think we were going to go to like exotic locales in this campaign, like the Underdark. Like that was a surprise. So that's cool.
I was just thinking, is this like our first foray into the Underdark? We've played so much D&D, like surely we've been in here at some point.
I mean, if it's not the Underdark, the very first campaign had an awful lot of underground tunnels and stuff. I don't think that
was Underdark though, technically.
Yeah.
Those are just big caves. Which granted are very similar.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Also, Rhyme had us go into a giant underground cave, but I also don't think that was the Underdark.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. Yes, we have done big caves, yes. Because it should basically be called Dungeons and Mostly Caves.
And mostly caves, yeah.
And mostly caves. We have done a lot of those, but like legit Underdark, as is known in the Forgotten Realms, I'm not sure. Actual, somebody in the chat might be able to tell us, but I don't think we've actually been into the official Underdark.
Yeah.
As of yet, I'm trying to think. Maybe in like a one shot or something, but we might have pulled stuff from there. Right. But yeah, this is a first official foray into the Underdark, which it's got its own little table of encounters, and it's like, hey, you can use these or not use these. It just depends on. It was really sparse in the information in terms of how far it takes to get there and everything. And it has a table of stuff. Like I said, one of them was using that character Nyx, the scout that was just as an encounter. Instead, she was the one that's leading you there. So I took what I often do as a DM is I took 2 of the encounters and combined them. To make a more interesting encounter. So this one was I reduced one of them. The other encounter is 3 hook horrors, and I was like, okay, let's change that to 1 because 1 is scary enough.
Okay.
So 1 creature is and notice how it was like cinematic too. It was like, oh, this is like the cutscene of like she gets you down to the cave, so there's no chance of you getting aggroed immediately. And then, but that's the situation is you have to be like quiet and like kind of wait it out for a second, which it was kind of awkward because at the one hand I'm like, I don't want to like keep cutscening you guys. I want to give you guys a chance, but also I know you guys don't necessarily
know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on.
So,
I don't know how soon I want to show you the map versus because then you're like, we're in combat mode or we're just kind of, this is just a scene that he's got playing out. Yeah. So I did try to figure out the timing with that. And I appreciate that you were like, hey, let's stealth and go up there and try to like scout up there, which I was like, great, that's something that you can do.
yeah, something to do. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think unfortunately for you, the right course of action in that scenario is probably just to do what she tells us and to stay quiet.
Right, which is fine.
You know.
Yeah. What's funny is Stacey probably would have been the one to fuck things up there, but she wasn't with you guys because she's not one to be very stealthy or quiet.
Yeah.
And I would have definitely aggroed that hook war on you guys if you guys made sound or done anything. I would have absolutely aggroed that thing.
I thought we were gonna fight it. I thought that after it handled the Grells, it was gonna realize that or hear us or something.
Yeah.
Fight it.
Well, I didn't have firm rules about it, but I was kind of just gonna play it realistically and say, hey, if they cast a loud spell, which Moonbeam was kind of on the, I guess if you cast any spell that makes sound, but
Moonbeam doesn't say anything about sound, but it's like only a few spells do.
Well, anything that has like a somatic component, I guess, would be the person having to speak, because technically there's a whole meta magic about casting spells silently.
Yeah.
So I would assume you can't cast spells silently, nor if they have a somatic component, you have to sit there and be like, Fusto Ra, whatever, and shout out the spell.
I feel like this has been like almost consistent like argument in D&D is like how loud you have to be with somatic. Like, people can be like, well, it's a charming spell or whatever, so I just whispered under my breath.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, does that work? Who he has to hear the words for the spell to work?
I will say that because you and then later Nyx did your actions to move the creature further down the tunnel, I was like, okay, that like buys them a thing that they can do, which in this case was like Moonbeam or something without alerting the creature. Yeah. So I was going to give you a lot of leeway in terms of fighting this Grell fight without alerting the hook horror, but at the same time, had you guys not try to lead it away and cast spells or shout or do anything of that nature.
Or done like Thunderwave or something.
Yes, or done something that specifically makes a sound, then that thing would have absolutely been aggroed. But
okay.
So it was definitely on the table, but my idea was when you start this battle, it was not going to initially be aggroed to you. Instead, the Grell was going to come out and do its surprise attack. And it just attacked whoever rolled the lowest stealth check, honestly. Because these things have, like, insane perception and stealth. They're just great ambush hunters. Yeah. But I only had one do the surprise attack. The other one just kind of appeared as part of the initiative order.
That would be my only advice on this, is that I think you underestimated us. I think you should have surprised us with both of them.
I should have, yeah.
I just had them both do their thing as a surprise attack. Because at one point I was like, "Oh, there's a second one." Like, I was like, "Oh, okay." I totally understood what you were doing. Like, one in reserve in case, you know.
Well, here's my worry: we were down a player, so I was like, "Do I need to scale this?
Rescale it
a little bit."
And to be fair, we didn't know that Reese was going to be able to stun the one that had.
Well, I also didn't know I would shit the bed with my attack rolls either. These things are despite being a CR3, they're not that strong. I mean, their strongness is what you guys what Ray experienced, which is if they get that, poison paralyzed thing, it's really bad. They can knock you out. But they honestly only have a plus 4 to hit. It's pretty fucking low.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, even with advantage, I kind of could barely hit. And then, man, I was just not getting good attack rolls after that. And they do have multi-attack, but I never used their beat because I was thinking, if they can't get people in their tentacles from this position, would they really come in to do the beak attack and expose themselves further? So I kind of played them slightly suboptimally, but also kind of kept them back so they're not like charging in there just with their beaks on them. So but yeah, the Moonbeam definitely did some damage. Fucking Reese just tore into one and did insane amounts of damage with like one round. I mean, it was crazy.
This session,
low AC are great for monks because they get so many attacks.
Also, like you were talking about like how we've done such little like straight ahead fighting, and we just leveled up to 5. So this was the perfect, like, okay, you've leveled up to 5, now show off your
show your skills. Yep.
Because Reese was just laid into those guys. Like, business.
Yeah, and I'm glad for this heist mission because we haven't had a lot of fighting in the first 2, and I think this one will have more. And already we've got the Underdark fight, which was nice. So I was hoping I would scratch you guys up a little bit worse than that and scare you guys because of the Underdark, but instead they were not able to be too terribly effective. And you guys, like I said, played it really well. Reese did a really good job with the stunning strike. And you poisoned one of them, which I don't even think it actually got a turn after that. I think Reese just murdered the shit of it or something.
Yeah, we killed it before it got to do anything.
And then you guys got the hook whore out of there, which those things are pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Going back a little bit. I appreciate you let me buying a Scroll of Dark Vision.
I want to talk about that too.
Oh yeah, the wizard stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that was something that you mentioned, almost kind of an offhand thing, and I was like, well, wait a minute, let's explore this because, I mean, it just happens so rarely where we're not like in some exotic, glacier or jungle or something where it's like you guys are in you're in, I think, what is one of the largest cities of this world. Yeah, you should be able to find whatever resources, and we're not really interested in going through the motions of like shopping, and unless it was like a specific schemo thing that I've got set up. But so I was like, let's just look up the rules and see what you can purchase, and you guys happen to be flush with money, so I'm like, fuck, you can absolutely get that going. And you're a wizard, so like, hey, you can get the scroll and then do the scribing thing, and there was still a bit of risk there, which I thought was fun. You could do a whole skill check, and we were all on pins and needles about rolling this Arcana check just so you wouldn't waste a pretty big payout. So
I mean, I had to use inspiration too.
You did.
That's true. Yeah. And that's something to look into if you want to spend some money buying scrolls and then scribing and expanding your repertoire of spells. That's kind of interesting. I mean, what is money if not to enhance our characters?
That's right.
That's right.
Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. It's our self-help book for D&D.
But for a moment there, with all the complications and stuff, I was tempted to not do it. But I was like, we're going in the Underdark, and how bad it would be to just fumble around. Not that my character does much to attack anyway, but how bad to fumble around and not see anything.
I had it written down in my note.
What if he had a torch?
Yes, in that encounter right there, I had it written down that Nyx would have absolutely like motioned to you to like cut the light out. Like, because that would automatically attract the hook horror creature. But also, the flip side of that, you would have been in even more dire straits for fighting against the Grells when you didn't have the light. So, it was definitely the right call. It would have been dangerous for you.
It's pretty dark, right? I mean...
It's pitch dark down here, yeah. Everybody else just using dark vision to get around. So, she would have She would have probably let you have a light out, but as soon as there was a creature, she'd be like, "No, you fucking turn that shit off."
Right. Every other creature has innate dark vision.
Either that, or they have straight up blind sight. Like I think the Grell have straight up blind sight, so they can just feel out and sense everybody.
Well, sure. I meant our party though. Like everyone in our party has dark vision.
Oh.
I think everybody except for you has dark vision, Mr. Human. Yeah, the orc, the gnome, the elf, and the Aasimar all have dark vision.
Wow.
Yeah. Unlike our last party, where I think like nobody had dark vision.
They might have been flipped, or maybe what was our last party?
You had
Last party we had all the monster dudes. We had the lizard, we had the minotaur, the kenku, and what were you? The turtle.
The turtle? Yeah.
And I think none of them have dark vision.
Turtle. Yeah.
I think it was I think I remember making that comment several times during crafting streams. Like, this is a weird one where like none of them have dark vision.
Nobody's got dark vision. Yeah. But yeah, that's such a it's such a mechanic that I think our group doesn't engage with very often because it is a very out of combat, out of adventure mechanic. We're like, yeah, a wizard can go like scribe scrolls and use skill checks and spend money to put stuff in his book.
Well, like you said, it's a little expensive and a little cumbersome, so it doesn't come up too often.
Come up much, but
I do feel like we usually see more scrolls as loot. I don't know if we've just not had that many this time, because that would make it a lot easier to make that choice. Is I don't have to spend the money and I can just add this scroll.
Yeah.
My hesitancy is still the limit of spells known versus spells prepared.
Yeah.
If that was not an issue, oh man, I would spend all my gold right now.
So I don't think
just learn them all. Learn them all.
Do you have a limit for spells known?
Yeah. Wait, do I?
In your book? I'm not sure.
I thought that was like a big thing for wizards.
Sorry. Flip it. I meant prepared spells.
Okay.
Prepared, right.
I mean, if I didn't have a limit on prepared and I could pull up anything in my spell book at any time.
So wizards aren't like clerics where they get the whole thing and they can be like, all right, well, today I'm going to do, these 6. Wizards have to like choose like specifically.
But you technically have no upper limit, I think, of how many you know.
Correct.
But you only can prepare. Yeah. Yeah, that is a pain.
Well, it's a pain because like there's spells that look awesome, but now I have to pick my best 9 for this encounter or whatever this session. It's just
they have the toughest long rest because they have to be like, okay, what am I doing today? Like what's going to happen today?
Well, James just said that in 2024 wizards can switch them out on a short rest. Is that true? Is that something that they changed?
Probably. I could find it if we need to, but regardless, I mean,
it's still having to
choosing battle to battle sort of thing or day to day.
I feel like yours is even trickier because you have all like the specific utility spells, which are used in very specific situations.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how much disguise self is going to be useful in this situation versus something that might let you hide or something.
Oh, I'll make it useful, but
he'll find a way.
He'll find a way. Yeah, I can't wait for him to act like a fucking robot. Hello, fellow automatons.
Exactly.
I am doing the robot.
If it wasn't for that prepared spell limits, then I would just buy up all the scrolls and have extensive. I mean, that'd be way too overpowerful, of course, but
yeah. Making you choose is the whole point. Yeah.
So it does say initially, whenever you finish a long rest, you can change your list of prepared spells.
Yeah, probably.
Don't know if it gets better than that. Let's see, subclass, memorize spell. Okay, at level 5, Ray, memorize spell. When you finish a short rest, you can study your spell book and replace one of your leveled spells with another leveled spell.
Oh, okay, here.
That's saying you could technically cast Dark Vision, short rest immediately, and switch out for another spell.
That's true. You'd still be down the spell slot.
But you wouldn't be stuck with a darkness that you can't use anymore.
That's true.
Vision that you can't.
But then to get it back, I would have to rest again to get it back. Yeah, short rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't know. What do we decide a short rests are in this? Is it 5 minutes in this one?
No,
Or an
we're
hour?
back to the rule of
Hour?
1 hour.
Yeah.
We
So
have hardly ever short, but again, we haven't had like dungeon crawls, so
Yeah, it's true.
this hasn't really been a need for it. But yeah, you guys haven't actually short rested hardly at all. Which, by the way, you have arcane recovery, so when you short rest, at least the first time you short rest, you can only do it once per long rest, but once per long rest, when you short rest, you can recover some amount of spell slots. Yeah.
combined level equal to or no more than half your wizard level round up. So I could get 3 equivalent of 3 slots back.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't think I have not taken advantage of that actually.
Wow,
We
you
haven't
guys,
had a
you
short rest.
you haven't short rested yet. Yeah.
We've never had an opportunity.
You guys just
Yeah.
started your day, and then you had this one encounter, and then
Okay. Well, maybe I'll call to vote a short rest more often.
well, that's once. You get to do it once per long rest. You can do the arcane recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is, yeah, that's something. And like I said, with this coming mission, you guys will probably end up short resting more often
some
than
point,
the previous
yeah.
missions, I think.
I'd be curious to see how big this town actually is. The
Yeah.
map seems like it's very scaled down. Cause they have like buildings and they're like tiny little blocks. And I'm like, how big is this town?
It's a
like-
town, like yeah. Were you wondering how this was actually a heist? Because that's the big thing I was wondering is like this doesn't sound like a heist until you get the map and then you get told, oh, there's actually a thing that we're after.
You gotta get the thing and get to the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just trust you to get us there. I was not wondering that because I was just like,
We're just in it
I
for the
don't
quest.
know what the story. I don't know what the story is, and I'll get the story later. And
Yeah.
we did get the story later.
Yep. Which was a tricky thing because technically Nyx isn't really the client. She's kind of like the messenger from the client.
Right.
And initially I had her as being very curt and kind of rude and having a language barrier there. And you guys would have to like overcome that.
Yeah.
But instead you guys kind of had the language barrier solution. And then I kind of just in the conversation, maybe you guys were just more polite than I expected, but I kind of ended up being more polite with her also.
Yeah.
And then I kind of ended up being more a little little more abrasive with the mayor, but then she also doesn't really have she's suspicious at first, but she doesn't really have a leg to stand on because they're just desperate for help.
Right.
So
They need help. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, but this is definitely a different one where you guys don't really get a chance to do reconnaissance. Notice how you haven't seen the place yet. You haven't been. You did get information,
Yeah.
so it's still.
Well, here's the difference. The difference is we're left to this town to sort of do as we please.
Yes.
We can kill. We can destroy automatons.
Yes.
We can do whatever we need to do.
Yep.
The casino, we had very explicit parameters
Yes.
that we had to meet. We had to not kill anyone. We had to not let them know we were back there. We
Yeah.
had to, like we were like really
Heist shit, yeah.
like, heist shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm saying, this
one's
one.
a little more open.
Yeah, does it feel less of a heist because of this situation?
I maybe, but also it feels just like a different type of heist. It's more
Yeah.
adventure-y heist. It's more Indiana Jones heist.
Yeah.
It's like we have to get the MacGuffin and get it over to this other MacGuffin. It's like, it's more of a.
I think we haven't started it yet, but I mean, now that you asked that question, it kind of is. We have to get to that lockbox location and shut things down. And ideally, if we can go straight there and not alert anybody, that'd be easiest, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But of
That's the
course,
goal.
it won't be that easy.
Of course,
So
it won't be that
it's,
easy.
It will not be that easy.
it's not a heist to get a treasure or anything. It's a heist to do some task,
Yeah.
you could say,
Yep.
that hopefully leads to lots and lots of treasure.
Your character is a lot more of the
Gold bar
roguish.
houses.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's because you just got the giant payout from the last one. You're like, all right, now I've spoiled you guys.
We got a taste
Like,
for it.
where's y'all's vault full of riches? Yep, I'm looking forward to it, and I like where we ended it too with the basically
Yeah,
start of it. And
going
notice how I didn't even move you onto that map at all either. Which, by the way, this map
Right.
is from there's a I think I linked to it in the show notes, but probably not here, but maybe on the main session. This is from a module pack on DriveThruRPG called just search for Clockworks like DM pack or guide or something, and it's I got links somewhere, but
where the original map has like the black and white art.
no, the original the maps are great in Keys in the Golden Vault, but as you surmise, the original map art is literally the town map, so it's like
Oh,
it's
okay.
great and I love it, but it's not one you can actually battle on because it is, as you're saying, it's a big fucking town. Like it doesn't have, it's not 5 foot squares. It's like 50-foot squares or something.
Right.
So it's almost like whenever we have those like Lost City excursions. So I'm still gonna like put you guys on the map as a party token, like moving around, but then when we get to like an area or a battle or something, then we'll do the zoom in and use the actual battle maps, which this pack does come very helpfully with basically every single one of these districts.
Nice.
As kind of a battle map thing. So it's a little more work for me to kind of put the dynamic lighting, everything in there, and all the tokens. So it feels a little more dungeony and takes a little bit more work because the previous 2 campaigns we almost entirely just used
one map.
Yeah, those big maps. And again, I like the map this one comes with, but you actually need like smaller maps to battle with. And it does have like inserts of some of the buildings and stuff, but they're really tiny, and it doesn't have like the actual districts, which I think is worth having some maps for. And this Underdark map is also part of that pack, and it just kind of serves as.
Does this one have? Because I'm getting flashbacks now of the very first map in Storm King's Thunder, where it was a fucking annoying, where they had the whole village map, but the insides of the buildings were separate maps.
Yes.
So like they had the whole village, but the maps were just the buildings were just like thatched roof, image of a roof.
Yeah.
And then other maps were the insides of the buildings, and I remember having to like try to like paste the insides of the buildings onto the village map.
That's not quite the case here because it's still the city map that's not to scale, but then it also has the inserts below that like are to scale. So I wouldn't be able to move them on there because it wouldn't at all fit.
It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. So I could use those little inserts, but I think the maps that map pack has are just better. They're just bigger and just more detailed and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep. Anything else about session 16?
It's good. I'm glad I'm glad we got like a setup episode, but we also got combat in there. That was fun. So
yeah. That is. Unfortunately, we'll have to clue Heather into everything that happened because there was a lot of basically all the setup for this heist mission.
Yep.
It was important information. All right, folks, that will do it for this week's chat. Thank you to Chris and Raymond. Thank you to all the wonderful fans for watching, and we will see you all next week.
See you next week.